you can protect yourself, who's going to protect your family? They are practically coming for everybody. You see, this country is surrounded. I've been saying these things since. The country is surrounded. The country is surrounded. They are in our midst. They are behind us. They are close to us. May God help us. But I promise you, they are coming for everybody. Nowhere is safe. Don't even think where you are staying now is safe. There's nowhere that is safe. As I speak to you now, there's no place.
Gani Adams called raise alarm about insecurity for Southwest. He say they don't infiltrate everywhere. Terrorists for Southwest. Supporting with the very dark man they talk. Oh boy, a new recording. They call Trump. If you see what the Trump talk, he say they angry with President Tinubu. He they angry with Nigerian government. He they angry with what they go for Nigeria. I say, if my president hear that type of thing, if my president will get high blood pressure, did he go rise? He say he they angry. He say until he enter the matter, now they will talk about him. Something where they for the talk serious, take serious, like caucus. They will suspect almost everything. They discuss about their insecurity. They buy people, take over villages. He said until he enter the matter, they know they discuss access. Listen.
Nigeria is a disgrace. The whole thing is a disgrace. They're killing people by the thousands. It's a genocide, and I'm really angry about it. And we pay, we give a lot of subsidy to Nigeria. We're going to end up stopping. The government's done nothing. They're very ineffective. They're killing Christians at will. And, until I got involved in it 2 weeks ago, nobody even talked about it.
You don't hear us. Say they angry. They angry. Say, need to give them to small. And for those girls that were kidnapped yesterday, they don't get the actual number. So within 100, 150. Report also say now 250 children. Now they use vehicles, Okada carry, come off for school, enter bush. Now only God know where they did. How they go carry 250 people? Where they go park them? How you want to be told? Just imagine 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Abi? More kata 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one's now 50. Oh. You can't get this one now times 4. You can't add another 15. Teachers who call. It's like the Ghanaian. They don't see well. I just saw this update now. Daily Post. Niger State School kidnapping, number of victims rising to 315. This comprises 303 students and 12 teachers, making a total of 315. 315 people. Pack them! Oh, nothing they go on, no state of emergency. No wonder Trump, the verse. Say, what type of country is that? What type of a nation is that? Children, till now, they don't know where they do. We never talk about the one for Kebbi State. This is House Foreign Affairs Committee. See what this man they talk. Say, let it be clear. What is happening in Nigeria is it random violence. It is deliberate persecution. Deliberate. They calculate and say we need to eliminate these people. Nigerian government has a fundamental obligation, of course, to protect its citizens. And the lack of accountability, taking responsibility, accountants who will be to count, to acknowledge, to say yes. The lack of it is chilling. Recognizing it, just come off face as if now how they buy. Listen to what they talk.
Nigeria is ground zero, the focal point of the most brutal and murderous anti-Christian persecution in the world today. Moderate Muslims who speak out against the radical Islamists or refuse to conform with the serial killers are murdered as well. I applaud President Trump's recent decisive action to redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern for engaging in and tolerating severe violations of religious freedom. One of our witnesses today, Bishop Wilfred Anagbe from the Diocese of Makurdi, testified before our subcommittee last March. He said, in part, militant Fulani herdsmen are terrorists. They steal and vandalize, they kill and boast about it, they kidnap and rape, and they enjoy total impunity from elected officials. None of them have been arrested and brought to justice, close quote. Today, by Zoom, Bishop Anabe will say, in part, on the 13th of March, 2025, when I last appeared before this committee, I warned that the situation was dire and demanded urgent attention. Tragically, the past half year has proven those warnings understated. The continued attacks on vulnerable Christians, villages by the Fulani ethnic militia, and their counterparts, both in the middle belt of Nigeria and elsewhere in the country. In my own diocese of Makurdi, you are all familiar with the massacres of Saturday, the 13th of June in Yolawada, where 278 persons, men, women, and children were killed in a manner too gory to describe here by people shouting Allah Akbar while slaughtering their victims. It took the prayer of the Holy Father, Pope Leo, on Sunday, the 14th of June, for the government of Nigeria to even acknowledge this evil. Even so, the federal government still seeks to downplay the numbers and has yet to properly care for the survivors, even as I speak, as he will be speaking momentarily by way of Zoom. Abductions of the clergy and laity remain rampant. Priests and pastors are prime targets for elimination. In 2015, one of our colleagues, a member of this subcommittee and also this full committee, I should say, and of Foreign Affairs, and a former House colleague and Green Beret officer, and now U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Mike Waltz. He was deployed in 2015 to Nigeria as part of a Nigerian, he was part of the Special Forces to provide training and security assistance to the Nigerian Navy SEALs in their fight against Boko Haram. During this time there, he said yesterday, a couple days ago, more than 300 girls were reported missing because of Boko Haram's extremist violence. Working alongside his team, Ambassador Waltz supported Nigerian SEAL operations that ultimately helped rescue many of these girls from the oppressive conditions imposed by Sharia law. This past Tuesday, Ambassador Waltz also said at a special seminar on Nigeria that the situation in Nigeria now has only grown more dire. He went on to say, churches burn, mothers bury their children for the crime of singing Amazing Grace, pastors are beheaded for preaching the Sermon on the Mount, and entire villages awaken to gunfire simply by calling Jesus their Lord. This is not random violence. It is deliberate persecution as northern militant groups enforce Sharia law and unleash targeted attacks on Christian communities. He also pointed out, and it was this week, that 25 girls went missing, many of whom who will now vanish and have vanished into the dark underbelly of extremism and sex slavery. Make no mistake, these ongoing attacks are based on religion, and diverting attention from it denies what we have seen with our own eyes. Yeah, there may be other factors, but religion is driving this. Kill the infidel. We see it in other places, and we're seeing it now, sadly, in Nigeria, and it's been going on for many, many years. 13 years ago, in this room, 2012, I chaired a hearing focusing on the slaughter of Christians by Boko Haram, and the Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs, Johnny Carson, testified at that hearing and said, and I quote in part, that the phenomena of Boko Haram is one of discrediting the central government in power for its failure to deliver services to the people. I asked him at the time, are you kidding? I responded by asking why Boko Haram abducts and rapes Christian girls and uses force and coercion, even death, to convert Christians to Islam. On a trip to an IDP camp in Jos, I met many survivors. One man who we had testify here, named Adama, who they took him out of his house. His wife was screaming, please don't hurt my husband. They put a AK-47 to his cheek and said, you renounce your faith or we'll kill you. He said, well, I'm ready to meet my Lord. They asked him again. He repeated that, and they shot him. They blew his face very, very horribly. He survived. And when I met him, I invited him to come and testify. He did. And he said, you've got to realize who Boko Haram is and stop this idea, this is my words, but his sentiment of denial, of saying, it's nothing to see here. So I asked Johnny Carson further, why won't they designate Boko Haram, at least, if not a CPC country, as a foreign terrorist organization? And he said they don't believe it. They're not a foreign terrorist organization. I worked on that for 3 years, additional hearings. On the day I was marking up my bill and it was called the Boko Haram Terrorist Designation Act of 2013 to put Congress on record demanding an FDO designation. That day, the administration declared Boko Haram a foreign terrorist organization. I was very happy with it, but we could have done that 3 years earlier, maybe had found out what their sources of weapons and funding and everything else might have been, thereby, again, mitigating some of the harm. For too long, the world has looked away, a culture of denial, as radical Fulani militants, Boko Haram, and ISIS West Africa have waged a relentless campaign of terror, murder, and displacement across Nigeria, including the states of Plateau, Benue, and Kaduna. According to Open Doors, and I just want to say something about Open Doors. I've worked with Open Doors for 40 years. I knew the founder, Brother Andrew, an absolutely honest and committed man, and that organization to this day continues to speak truth to power all over the world, including in Nigeria. Well, they have said, Open Doors, more Christians are slaughtered in Nigeria than anywhere else in the world. I co-chair the China Commission. I just left a hearing that we're holding over on the Senate side on religious persecution there, against everyone, against the Falun Gong, against the Christians, against the Buddhists in Xinjiang, not the Buddhists, the Buddhists in Tibet, and the Muslims in Xinjiang. And while they kill many, they incarcerate and harass more than they slaughter. These groups in Nigeria are doing just that, slaughtering. Another group has said over 52,000 Christians in Nigeria have reportedly been targeted and killed by Islamist extremists, while approximately 34,000 moderate Muslims have been murdered as well since 2009. And, that is less focused upon. I raise it every time, and I hope we all will. They're killing those who don't conform to the radical Islamist view, and so they get killed too. I met with many imams on trips to Nigeria as well as here, and they say if we speak out, we'll be firebombed too. During a visit, there are 19,000 churches have also been attacked. More than 7,000 have been murdered in this year alone. During my visit to Jos in 2013, I visited many churches that have been firebombed in Jos. And I listened to the survivors and was moved almost to tears, and to tears with some, when they talked about the numbing loss and pain of losing loved ones. And the churches were decimated, each and every one of them, either by cars coming in and plowing everybody and destroying the physical, or by bombs, and of course, always the ever-present AK-47. They pleaded with their own government and the world to end the cruelty and violence. And I've been raising it, as have many others ever since. About 5 million Christians have been displaced and forced into internally displaced persons camps within Nigeria and refugee camps at regional and sub-regional borders, according to an Inter-Society report. Open Doors reports, and again, I hope we can finally get beyond just saying nothing's to see here. While Christians used to be vulnerable only to Muslim-majority northern states, this violence continues to spread into the Middle Belt and even further south. The attacks are shockingly brutal. Many believers are killed, particularly men, while women are often kidnapped and targeted for what? Sexual violence, rape, and other abuse. More believers are killed for their faith in Nigeria than anywhere else in the world. These militants also destroy homes, churches, and livelihoods. And many people don't go to school anymore. One estimate is 10,000 schools have been closed due to this violence. The Nigerian government has a fundamental constitutional obligation to protect its own citizens. Yet the brutal reality is that the perpetrators of these crimes operate with impunity. The lack of accountability sends a chilling message that the lives of Christian farmers and their families are expendable. This failure has rightfully been called out by the President of the United States, President Trump, and Secretary of State Rubio. The United States must not stand by idly. I've introduced resolutions, and others have been introduced as well. Res 82, I had done that previously on 82, asking that the Biden administration, we had an interesting conversation and debate on that resolution. It did pass 26 to 21. And part of the argument that was made by Mr. Meeks and my very distinguished colleague to my left is that it's the President and the Secretary of State that needs to make that call, not us. I think we can encourage something. That's what it did. But nevertheless, now they've made the call. And I think we need to, double down and try to stop this. HRES 860, which I've introduced, also calls on conditioning U.S. foreign assistance, and it must be tied to progress from the Nigerian government in preventing persecution, prosecuting perpetrators, and protecting all communities. Second, it would provide direct humanitarian assistance, especially to faith-based groups working on the ground in the Middle Belt. What we're hearing is that it's not getting through. People are hungry, so we need to make sure that they're helped. And third, we must impose targeted sanctions pursuant to the Global Magnitsky Act, using visa bans and access freezes against individuals and entities responsible for these gross human rights abuses. President Trump, as I conclude, said, Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. The United States cannot stand by while atrocities are happening in Nigeria.
This rep really more. You know, say now this one, now Trump give assignment, make you go survey the matter, understand everything, study am, discuss am, get back to me. The interviewer.
I know the issue of what's going on in Nigeria is very important to you. A lot of attacks on Christians, many of them fatal by Islamist organizations. Nigerian officials are meeting with the Pentagon and with the State Department this week amid Trump's threats to take military action to stop the violence against Christians in Nigeria. Earlier today, a group of armed bandits, likely Islamists, invaded this private Catholic school there, where they abducted an unknown number of students. What would you, beyond just the violence ending, what would you like to see happen with Nigeria? How would you like to see the violence brought to an end?
Well, that same delegation that met with the Pentagon, I met with as well. This high-level delegation led by their national security advisor. And the Trump administration has tasked me to lead this investigation in Congress on the Nigeria issue, the genocide, in my view, that's happening there. What I said to that delegation, what I've continually said here is, look, there's an actual opportunity for Nigeria to strengthen and broaden and deepen their relationship with the United States, where we can try to attack this together in coordination and cooperation with our two nations. There's an opportunity here to strengthen those ties. Obviously, President Tinubu and the government there, they don't want ISIS and Boko Haram establishing a caliphate in their country. The attack that you just mentioned is this Fulani militant group that is operating in the middle band of the country, this Islamic terrorist militants. And that's where a lot of the violence against Christians, the case that you just mentioned right now, is happening. So one of the things that I discussed with them, I mentioned at the House Foreign Affairs Committee actually this week, the hearing that we had on this issue, is can we work on disarming the Fulani militant bands that are just roving around the country. It's actually illegal for anybody to own a firearm in Nigeria, yet these folks are attacking with impunity these Christians in the middle band of the country and just wiping them out.
Now I won't tell them when they go for Nigeria in a global village. Now I won't tell them. Now they tell them what to be persecution of Christians. Tell me for the last 2-3 years, Muslim school where they enter called park children. Just tell me. Show me one mosque when they don't go raid past 1 year. Just drop it in the comment section. Just teach me, show me. We not to say only Muslim, moderate Muslim. But that one, you don't agree with us. But once you agree, carry the ideology and to go buy Christians. It's like you tell people, say follow me. You know what follow you, beat them. You can't get bad spirit, you buy them. The one who agree, go follow you, go buy Christian. Now we talk. Very dark man, don't raise one no. Don't raise one. He say, we are surrounded. We are surrounded. They dey everywhere. Listen.
I don't even know what to say. If you can protect yourself, who's going to protect your family? They are practically coming for everybody. You see, this country is surrounded. I've been saying these things since the country is surrounded. The country is surrounded. They are in our midst. They are behind us. They are close to us. They are in the buses. They are in the public buses. They are in the school. They are in the church. They are in the mosques. There's no place. No, there's no place. They are just everywhere, bro. They are in the plane. They are in the airport. They are everywhere. So I'm just overwhelmed and emotional. I'm confused. See me looking scattered today, so I'm just there all over the place. But I just hope something is being done. I'll tell you the last part that is very, very crazy. The president is also confused. They did him the Trinity today. They did him the Trinity. They did Goodluck Jonathan the double. They did Tinubu the Trinity today. The double, go back. April 14, 2014. About at about 6 to 8 a.m., Nyanya bomb blast happened. The whole country, the whole focus of the military, the DSS, everybody was focused on the Nyanya bomb blast. Everybody, the press, everybody was in Nyanya. Towards the evening of that same day, they moved about 250 girls, the Chibok girls, in one day. They did him the double. Now they are doing the Trinity. They attacked the church CSC in Kwara State in that same breath. In less than 3 days. You know, while we are still looking at that, they went to Niger State. While we are still looking at that, in less than 24 hours, they've taken some kids again from Nasarawa. You should know, it's in a mess. May God help us, but I promise you, they are coming for everybody. Nowhere is safe. Don't even think where you are staying now is safe. There's nowhere that is safe. As I speak to you now, there's no place.
You don't hear that, so Gani Adams called raise alarm about insecurity for Southwest. He say they don't infiltrate everywhere terrorists for Southwest. Supporting with the very dark man they talk. What he really talk? He said credible information available to us indicates that terrorists have already infiltrated many communities in Yorubaland. What they are doing in Kogi and Kwara is simply to test the terrain before launching major attacks. The intelligence we have shows that they are targeting Oyo, Ekiti, Ondo, and even Lagos State. These are the same groups responsible for daily attacks in different parts of the country. Sometimes they are labeled as bandits, sometimes as violent herdsmen. But beyond that, we know that international terrorist organizations such as ISIS, ISWAP, and Boko Haram also operate in Nigeria. There are also splitter groups that broke away from them. I can say authoritatively that some foreigners are coordinating this. It is not limited to Nigerians alone, he asserted. Watch the video.
We got an information on the very serious authority that we have been highly infiltrated in the Southwest.
There is already an infiltration.
Infiltration. By whom? By these terrorists in most of the communities in Yorubaland. You know, Kogi and Kwara, it's just like a buffer zones to Southwest. And what they are doing in Kogi and Kwara is just a test of ground to start the major attacks in the Southwest. The information in our disposal is that they want to attack Oyo, Ekiti, Ondo, and Lagos State.
Oyo, Ekiti, Ondo, and Lagos State. You have it on good authority.
Yeah, Ondo, Ekiti, and Lagos State.
Who are these people?
Well, those are the people that you are seeing that are attacking various places in Nigeria.
Are they of any particular, tribal extraction?
Well, in some cases you call them bandits. In some cases you call them Fulani headmen. But when you are talking of international terrorist organization, we have ISIS and ISWAP in Nigeria. We have Boko Haram too. And the three name was just a popular name, but different pocket of groups break from those organizations. And I can tell you authoritatively that this thing is being coordinated by some foreigners. It goes beyond Nigerians. And one of the reasons behind this attack is three issues. It's religion motivated, it's economic motivated, and ethnicity is there. And different groups have their own way of target on the basis of their own ideology. When you see the crisis is flowing from the northeast to the northwest, north centers. And I was surprised when I heard the governor of Benue State that there was now Christian genocide in the state yesterday. I was shocked. And the governor was a religious leader before he became a governor of the state. Even we that was not living in Middle Belt, we are being worried, seriously concerned about the incident that is happening in Benue State and Plateau State. And on a daily basis, we got information of attack from different communities. And I don't know how this man wants to classify genocide. When a race is attacking another race and trying to wipe them out of the system or from the state or community, there is no way you can classify it as genocide. And majorly in the population of Plateau State and Benue State, Christian are majorities. And the location this attack is being coordinated, affected, was Christian area. As the area on the Kakanfo of Yorubaland, I have the duty and responsibility to inform my people, to inform Yoruba people that we should be vigilant, we should prepare ourselves.
You don't see answer. As you can see, for these few weeks now, we don't hear bye for Boronu, the Brigadier General. We don't say for Kebbi, children were in the school, they go carry them. For Katsina, bandits, they do meeting with elected officials. Bless now they get local government now. They say about 20 abi, they just submit to them like a country where they don't get government. For Kaduna, Sata Kaduna, what Reverend Father, where they show for Twitter say, for Niger, Catholic school, they go pack children. For Plateau, those ones, see the crowd, they don't evade you. Kwara, for inside church. Benue, those ones, pocket attacks. Gani Adams say, oh, this one they do for us, so Kogi, Kwara, Ilori, they are preparing for this. Ekiti, Ondo, and the rest. Another one for Ogun State happened. You see how they lie? See, try to explain. Just in yesterday afternoon, Fulani government allegedly attacked a quarry in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, kidnapped 2 Chinese internationals. Okay, let's watch this video. Bandits attacked my workplace today. 2 Chinese men were kidnapped. Some workers escaped the gunshot. Listen to this guy.
Nigeria, everywhere just the guy jaje. Ìjọba ti wà kó máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Mo jáde pé omi ti yá ń sìn. Nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ìbáyìí mo ti never my life before. As wetin happen today. That's it. Just yáde pé iná gba mo wá sí jẹ́ pé 25 hours soaking ni wọ́n ti pa ajé, wọ́n ti pa everything ariwo. Everywhere just dey silent. The country wey happen today where they don àwọn ọmọ aláwọ̀ sá àwọn gbénigbé ni wọ́n ti gbé master wa lọ. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé mo bọ́, mo jagun tèmi mo bọ́. Ìbọn bàbá mi gan AK-47 but I thank God sha NIB at the show the update sha. People dey when I see them for that side.
Ogun State is not safe again. Bandits attacked quarry today and kidnapped 2 Chinese men at Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State.
Ojú ọ̀tá ìbọn nìyẹn o. Ojú ọ̀tá ìbọn ajé. Bọ̀ mo ṣáà dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Mo kàn dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ni.
You just sense. Very dark man said, we are surrounded. What is the purpose of this class? Not be to make you fear. Now for government to wake up. Let's put pressure on them to wake up, suspend everything, forget politics, face the reality. According to Kebbi State Governor, he dey complain and say, who gave order for the security personnel to withdraw when they don't get intelligence say that they come? See the video now.
Up to now, we as leaders in Kebbi State, we couldn't understand why that withdrawal. At that material time, when an index was being gotten, that there is likely. So, Honorable Minister, I want to thank you for coming.
He said, who gave order? Una know the soldiers said they withdrew a bit. Una ask them now. You will be chief security of the state. You ask them, who gave order? I remember say the defender of terrorists, Gumi, first off say, all those spy where they go for Plateau, where they bury people, say na empty coffins. Remember I talk where they aggravate many people. Now in this pastor, Ezekiel called the react. See him.
Somebody says, Reverend Dachomo, who stop exposing the government, your own government, your country. I say, oh, so I'm now exposing my government in which they are watching me right inside Asoro on social media. Then I say, what of me? That the same government expose us to Fulani killings by refusing to stop Fulani from killing us. Are they not exposing us to them? Their silence is exposing the Christians all over Nigeria. Now, the Boko Haram, they swap, that they are divided, they are rejoicing, they kill because they know the government cannot do anything when they kill us. They have exposed us to Islamic terrorists by their silence. Not only silence, they came out publicly and say there is no genocide on Christians. That is another exposed war that we are lying. I was at the gravesite from Abuja today. When I was just climbing Hawan Kibo, a phone call comes and say, Reverend, have you heard what is happening? I say, what is happening again? I told they have attacked another one, and that one is more attack. It's more stronger. Sheikh Gumi the son of late Gumi, that used to go and bargain with terrorists. He came out and said, all the corpses that we buried is a lie. It's only coffin. We buried coffin. All of them, they are empty. I've nailed his name. He must appear through Interpol. Even when he hides in Saudi Arabia, already they have, even if he hides in Saudi Arabia, I'm very sorry for him. They will fish him out. He will appear in the International Criminal Court of the world to come and testify. And I want them to put high delegate together with Minister of Defense, SSS of Nigeria. They must be at the grave. I've told the youth in the village to guard the village, to guard that tomb. Because very soon, they will send their machineries to come and dig the grave in the night and remove evidence. The security men that are working in that village, I said they should help in guiding the village, the tomb, the monument. And I want the Chief Judge of Nigeria must be present. If really they want sincerity, factual, they should be present. Chief of Defense, Chief of Army Staff, GOC must be present. Let us dig the grave and see what is there. Who is lying? Turning my tears to become a hypocrite trash. There is an empty coffin. God of vengeance will fight. Go to my Facebook, you will see me crying at the grave. I command the grave by the power of Jesus to release her anger, to hunt down Shegumi wherever he is. He will never know peace.
Go the place. Listen.
That this grave, that 27 people are lying on this grave. And by God's grace, we are going to build this grave. It's yet to be built because people are still mourning. People are still in trauma. So we allow people to subside in their pain. So that we come one day, we'll rebuild this monument. And the name of the people that have been destroyed, killed, together with children, we all label it out as that of Dogo Nahawa. My fellow brothers, as I'm here, people were crying. Why should Sheikh Gumi open his mouth and say it was an empty corpse? All Nigerian lawyers, I'm begging you in the name of Jesus Christ, those that have the heart of Christ, the Son, we are going to sue Sheikh Gumi, and this place, they are going to guide it. I've told the security, the youths, all the youths, make sure you guide it because Fulani terrorists are still coming back to come and remove the corpse. So that to prove to their sheikh that it was an empty corpse. So another war has been raised. All Birom youths should be on red alert. War is on ground already. Sheikh Gumi has set war. We are in pain, but he has more pain to us. 27 people are on the ground. And he's saying it's an empty cross. Director of SSS, the GOC, Chief of Staff. Let me tell you, if all of you are not terrorists, you will all be present here. The youth, we are ever ready. We are going to dig the graves. World press, camera should come to this place. We are ready to remove the corpse before the eyes of anybody. I will open the coffin one after the other.
World press, send your press to this place. American press, Canada, I'm begging you. World press, Al Jazeera, I'm begging you, come to this place. Fox News, come. Let us dig. Because Sheikh Gumi says it's an antichrist. We are not a religion of liars. Christianity doesn't lie. They know. But Islam is a religion of liars. So all the children of Islam are a bunch of liars. They came out and said there's no genocide. And the so-called can, they joined them. Because their light is dead. They don't have any light again. They have lost their saltiness. That's why Islam is marching on Khan and give them the decision what they will do. Come and see what is happening. As I'm going around, the last grade, they can take 27 people, and it took 27 people that are right here on the ground. This is the distance. As the grave is so large, because the people that can order this is the High Court, Court of Justice. The Chief Judge, they have to give order until I meet our lawyers. And I will challenge the federal government for not arresting Gumi. If it is a Christian that says that it's all corpses that are being buried in Zamfara Casino, I could have been in danger. The Council of Islamic could have sued me to the federal government to arrest me. They will make a press release.
You don't hear that so. But in all these things, according to US, they say our government no they take accountability. We will see before Tinubu enter power, what did they talk of signing insecurity for Nigeria? We will see what did they talk. How did Tinubu before his presidency protest or reacted or talk about insecurity? Or Boko Haram and government inaction during JEG, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Now it return 27th of June 2014. It also said the Abuja Plaza attack or the attack during Goodluck Jonathan sadly and deeply. It is time we all rise up to stop this carnage before it consumes us all. Boko Haram is evil. So if they shatter now, we know they do this or usual. We dey follow Baba's footsteps, okay? September 9, 2014, the 30 Boko Haram attacks on the northeast and the massacre of innocent citizens is concrete proof that Nigeria has no government during Goodluck Jonathan. So if anybody call the talker now, no talk say why they talker, we dey follow his footsteps, okay? Because wetin wrong, we must talk am out to get solution. You don't see answer. What do you think? You can drop up a comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.